Hello, welcome back to Single Mom on a Farm. This is question and answer number 19. I'm so excited that we've done so many. Whoever had this idea, like back in January, it was brilliant, and I owe them a big thank you because this has been fantastic that I've been able to do so many Q&A sessions. They've been really fun, and I've also gotten the most views from them lately, and probably ever since I started actually. So I just really appreciate this, and what a tender mercy to be able to do these. I love them. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Okay, so let's get started. How much TV, cable, antenna, satellite streaming services, and YouTube do you watch a day, weekdays and weekends? I pretty much don't watch anything. So cable TV, we don't have cable. Antenna, we just get a few channels, and we'll just watch the news when we're going to get a snowstorm, or we're hoping to get a snowstorm. You know, it's always kind of like iffy, so it's kind of fun to watch to see, are we going to get a dusting or an inch or 5 inches or what, or a hurricane. But we're more likely to get like a little dusting of snow. You know, like 3 or 4 times a year we can watch the news and just see what's going on with the snow, because that's fun. We will watch some Olympics. At least I want to, and I think I will. I never really watched as much as I think I will because we're just like playing outside. But I'm hoping this February we can watch some Olympics, at least like have it on, and then I can like go cut some wood and bring it in the house and just check on if there's a sport we like, because I do like a lot of winter sports. I think it's fun to watch, and it just kind of feels festive. Something to do in February when it's cold. But we'll see. So we might watch some Olympics. I think that's about all for that. Sometimes when Lori comes, she does like to watch football. So if she's here in the fall or like Thanksgiving weekend, we'll probably put a football game on if we have that channel. And then satellite TV, we don't have that, and we don't have any streaming services. So I don't pay for anything like that. And then YouTube, I don't watch any YouTube either. I answer my questions or my comments, they come to my email. So that's where I answer them at. So I'm actually never on YouTube. And when I upload a video, I just upload it from my phone and I set it aside and go do other things. So I'm not watching anything. I think it'd be fun to watch YouTube just to kind of see what other people are doing, especially like other homesteading or homeschooling families. I'm sure I could learn a lot of their editing techniques, content that they're sharing. So I do want to kind of have a goal of like, I don't know, maybe on a Friday night, just watch a few people that are interesting to me and see if I can learn from them, you know, like use it as kind of a work thing. But for fun, then we just don't watch anything. If we watch anything at all, I try on a Friday night is to like have a movie party, but it's probably about once a month, maybe not even that much. All summer, we just didn't watch any movies because in the evenings, like we're outside picking blueberries and the garden. Like we're always doing those two things all summer long. And then Christmas time is a time that we probably would watch some Christmas movies. We have like the same 5 or 6 that we want to watch every year. We like Mrs. Miracle. I think it's Mrs. Miracle, Christmas Stars, Home Alone, just a few fun Christmas. Oh, I love the Dolly Parton Christmas one, The Christmas of Many Colors, and Grandpa for Christmas. So we have several fun Christmas movies that we try to watch every year, every other year, whatever. Watching TV just doesn't make me feel good, so I think that's just why I don't do it. I usually feel sort of blah afterward, unless it is like a family movie party, especially with my older kids. I like the whole setup of it, like making popcorn or Christmas cookies or whatever, and watching a Christmas movie and having the lights, Christmas tree lights on and things like that. I love the whole vibe of it. So that's when I will, and it will feed me, and I look forward to that all year. But again, that's just me and my personality, so no judgment on you or anybody else. But I feel like at the end of the life, no one asks you, what was your best day of TV? Or what was the best movie you ever watched? I mean, we don't really talk about those things, but people are always saying, like, what was your favorite activity with your family? Or what was your favorite childhood memory? And it's always outside. It's always playing something and being creative and having a lot of freedom to build and explore by yourself or with siblings or friends. So I just don't feel like, watching a lot of TV is going to ever be memorable or anything. I know that people have said, I wish I had all my gaming hours back, was a podcast I listened to recently about a teenager that just wished he had all of his gaming hours back, thinking of how much time he's wasted. And I know people are like 6 to 7 hours a day on screens. And so you think of that, how many hours that is over the year and how much could be done for good, either earning money, serving people, being more organized and clean, having a better yard and house, fulfilling your hobbies, like I wish I had more time to practice the piano. So if I had any extra time before I watched a video or something, I would love to play the piano. But I would really love to just keep fixing up my house better. It's never as clean as I want it. My yard is never as nice as I want it. I would love to, plant more flowers and things, and to blow off the sidewalks more often. All those kinds of things bring me so much joy. They just feel so good when my things are clean and I'm on top of everything. So I just don't watch a lot, or hardly ever, but I do see the value in it as a family, just sitting down and watching something. And it can be very relaxing and fun and memorable when you do have some fun food out and everything like that. I don't think it's memorable for kids to watch something in their bedroom by themselves, but as a family on a cold night or a rainy night or whatever, it's pretty fun. Okay, thanks for asking. I think we're just so busy with our farm and stuff. They're just, I mean, the kids don't ask for anything because there's just so much work, which we love to do work. There's chores in the spring and summer, fall and winter. We're still bringing in wood, and they still find things to play and do outside, which is what I wanted. I wanted to move here so that we're always outside. And our house is so small, it's 1,600 square feet, and we don't really love it. So we just naturally want to go outside because it's more beautiful outside, more fun. So we just don't do much on screens. You talk so fast. Why? Okay, so sorry. I am trying to work on that because several people have said that I talk too fast and I need to slow down. I think it's just my family of origin. We just all talk fast. So that's probably why. We have a big family. So, we probably all tried to get in what we wanted to say really quickly. And now I have a big family, so it's kind of the same. The kids are always trying to talk fast to me. Maybe I don't like to stand and listen to people. Like when the kids are talking, I've always been in a hurry of like, I got to go get the baby a diaper, like hurry and say what you need because I'm in the middle of changing a diaper, or I'm in the middle of doing something. So I have to just stand there while a kid tells me about their dream or ask for a question about their doll or something. So I feel like probably nobody wants to stand there while I'm talking. So I end up talking really fast so that nobody has to wait for me because I'm not a super patient person. So maybe that's why I talk fast, is I don't want people to have to wait for me. Another thing is my brain is just always going really fast, and I'm a very efficient person. Like I'm efficient when I talk. I move around the house really fast. I'm just trying to always get things done. I give birth really fast. I pretty much do everything fast. Put away the dishes. I just like to go fast and I like to get things done, and it gives me a lot of energy going fast. But I know it can be a bad thing too. It can definitely be a negative personality trait. So I do need to slow down. I need to listen to people better, take time with them, relax more. And that's kind of what I also love about our property, is because when I go outside, I naturally just slow down. When I am cutting wood, it's like, wow, I'm just like staring. I'm just staring at things and I'm imagining how I can rearrange things out here, where to plant things. I'm just thinking. I really slow down outside. And so I love that. And I love taking my kids on mommy dates outside so that I just can walk with them, hike, picnic, whatever, and I have a lot more time and I'm just a lot more calmer. So hopefully that answers your question about why I talk fast. How is Thomas doing? We've gotten several of these, so thank you so much for asking. So he was in Mexico City at the training center where they teach you how to speak Spanish and teach you like the rules of the mission and everything. He was there all of September, and now he's in Colorado Springs. So he got there. I've only been able to talk to him once since he got there. Last week, we were on a camping trip with Tilly, so we didn't get to talk to him that day. We didn't have any phone service there, so that's too bad. But the one time that I did get to talk to him, he said he has 2 companions right now. One is from Hawaii, and he got on the call, and it was just so fun. He was just very energetic and fun and just talkative. And then his other one is from Guatemala. So they're both great companions. I think he's really liking them. He said his Spanish is doing great, so he's really proud of how well he's learned Spanish. So I know he has a gift for learning languages because his companion said that he sounds like he's been out on the mission for a really long time because he speaks really good. So that's, puts your mind at ease because a lot of people struggle with the language. So that's great that he doesn't struggle with that. I'm sure he has a lot of other trials and things he struggles with. So with having learned Spanish, then their area is to primarily contact Hispanic people who are wanting to learn about Jesus Christ and how Jesus can bless them in their lives. And so sometimes they're knocking on doors or just contacting people, at a park or whatever, and they're asking if they know of anybody who speaks Spanish who might be interested in learning more about Jesus Christ. And he said a lot of the white people are still really rude, even though they're not asking to teach the white people about Jesus. They're just asking if they have any Spanish friends. But anytime that they do find Spanish people, even if they're not interested, they've been really, really nice. So he had that to say, that he's really positive about having fun teaching people who speak Spanish because they have been really, really kind to them. They've been feeding them well. They've been cheerful. Even if they don't want to hear about Jesus Christ or change their life or anything like that, then they've been really nice. So that's comforting. He said it's cold already, and he's adjusting to that and just adjusting to being on a mission and all of the things that you have to give up to be on a mission. But I think he's doing pretty well. The next time I talk to him, I'll get some more information, and then maybe in a few more videos, then I'll try to give an update on him and any of the other college kids. But thank you for being interested and asking. What can be done with the walnuts? Do you use them? And then a few other people have asked, do you eat or sell the walnuts? I'm not sure exactly what to do with our walnuts. So they grow every other year. So our first year we were here, we tried to dry them in the basement and crack them. They're super duper hard to crack. You can just taste the tannins in them. They're really, really bitter. They had a lot of worms. It was a lot of work. We spent a lot of time that first year really trying to make them work. And I think we finally just gave up. And then the next time they were harvested, what was that, then 23? Then we just didn't really do anything. I was working on a blog and, really busy with a lot of my other odd jobs and stuff. I did nature camps, things like that fall. And so I think we pretty much just dumped them all in the woods and just maybe saved a few. This year, we've figured out that you can soak them and then they're a lot easier to crack. So Andy's been in charge of doing that. We still haven't done very much with them. So I would love to do more with our property. And that's kind of what drives me crazy of having to work so hard to pay for the mortgage and stuff, with my other odd jobs, is that I can't do as much on the farm that I would like to. But I know my business is just growing. So I know it'll even out okay. And I know the first few years are always hard anytime anyone starts a business. So I'm okay with that. But I would love to do more with the walnuts and the pecans because the pecans are really, really tasty and they're fun. They're just a lot of work also, drying them out or soaking them and getting them before the squirrels do, because the squirrels just every single morning, they're way up in the trees, getting them all out of the top of the trees. So we just have to be willing to take several hours and go out there and get them ourselves and do all the work, over the course of several days. So I'm a little embarrassed that I haven't done anything with them because I feel like if I knew someone else had walnut and pecan trees, I'd be like, dude, get all your nuts, free nuts. They're so expensive at the store. Do all you can for that. I would. And now I'm here and I'm not doing it. So, but I'm trying to do as much as I can with everything that we have. I know the blueberries were a huge, huge project and they're just so much easier. You just pick them and eat them and you run in the house and we're eating them all day long. So it was totally worth the years and hours that we put into the blueberries because they weren't producing when we moved here. We had to clear them all out and get them producing again. And that's totally been worth the work. But for some reason, the walnuts haven't been worth the work yet. So maybe the rest of this year we can do a little bit more. And then when they get harvested in 27, we'll be a lot better doing them. I don't think we can sell them because there are walnut trees everywhere. Just on the greenway in the short area that I walk when the kids are in rehearsal, they're 3 trees and they're all over the place. So I remember last year, oh, free walnuts, I should take some home. I'm yeah, you remember you don't do much with them. So I know everybody can get them for free. Everybody's got them in their yards. I think it'd be really hard to sell them. There'd be a lot of work and then they'd be hard to find customers. I could try though. I haven't just been into it to try that hard. And I'm finding with things that I sell and also my nature camps and stuff, it takes me so many more hours to text people than it does to actually do the work. So selling our eggs and everything is I could spend an hour texting and meeting up with people just to sell $5 eggs. And it's not really worth $5. So that's with the blueberries. I'm trying to do a pick your own blueberry patch so that I can get a lot less, texting people and coordinating pickup times and things like that. So I think it'd be kind of hard with the walnuts. People say they'll come and then they don't, and I'm waiting around, or I'm texting or taking them to them. So I haven't ventured into that just because of that. And same with the nature camps, I've kind of cut back because I was spending a lot more time with cancellations and getting people to sign up and rearranging days that they couldn't come and substituting and switching kids, that it was I'm spending more time on that than the actual 5 hours of nature camp. So it wasn't paying off like I wanted it to be. So that's the answer for the walnuts. Are you going to sell the chicks? I'm not sure because I kind of want to, only because with 15 chicks, I'm just sure that some are going to get lost because the hen wants to take them outside all the time and it's so cold. So I'm afraid they're going to get cold or sick and they're going to die, or they're going to get lost. They're just not going to come back with her one time. So I know we're going to lose them. And so then that's losing money. So we should just sell them. But it's also really fun to see, like, how many of the 15 is she going to raise? How many are they going to be okay? We might just put her outside with a few and leave the rest in the house so that, we can make sure that they raise really well. I'm not sure. They're Caitlin's, so I'm going to let her and McKenna decide if we want to sell them or not. So we might. She's also waiting to see if they're a boy or girl, which I think she can be able to tell this weekend. She's really good at figuring them out with their feathers and stuff. How do you find good campgrounds? Oh, this is fun. I love camping questions. Let's see. So the first time, I think I must have done a Google search about campgrounds, and I found the forest, like the Thomas Jefferson National Forest, and I looked at the pictures of each campground. I just wanted one that was really shady, and we loved the one that we go to. That's all the time. It's in the Jefferson Forest, and like I said, it's either $20 if you don't have a pass, or $10 when we did with Samuel and Anderson have gotten the 4th grade pass. So we went a lot when they had the pass. I love those because it is first come, first serve, and you can just put your money in the envelope. You can stay a day and go back and put another $10 in if you want to stay a second day. You don't have to reserve online. They're cheap. You don't have to sign in and give all that kind of information. It's just drop it in the envelope. The camp hosts are super duper friendly and nice. It's not very well visited, so that's not very popular, so that we can have more time and space to ourselves to ride around the loops without a lot of cars going by. It's really quiet. The spots are a lot larger than maybe a state park or other places that are more commercial, and they're all close together. I like that they don't have the pool and the golf course and some things that maybe a KOA would have. That's just my personality, because I want the kids to be creative. I want them to have nothing, and so they have to find things to do, like play in the creek and play in the woods and play with sticks and stuff like that, because I just think that's the glorious part of childhood. But if camping with a pool or things like that is for you, then go ahead and do that. I remember getting a KOA when I was a kid that had a pool and a slide, and I loved it. It was so much fun. So, if that works for you, you're still outdoors, that is just awesome. Go camping. If you're not ready for the national forest, which might be a little bit farther out, do state parks, because they have fantastic spots. They even have little cabins. They're all fairly reasonable. Just depends on the state. The one in Rhode Island was $16, but the one in Massachusetts was $45 just for a camp spot. So just, look around and price things out and have a good time. I'm so excited if you want to go camping. I highly recommend it. Now I have a few negative comments that I'm not sure if people wanted me to answer or address or not, but I will take a few minutes to do that. One is, my children need to be socialized. And I wasn't sure what this meant. If there's this yardstick measuring thing that we can say, we've arrived, we're socialized, this is it, we did it, we hit all these milestones. Or do they just mean my kids need more socialization or social skills or whatever? I'm not really sure. But remember that this is a homestead channel, and we live on a farm. And I think when people see that, they think, I never get out, we never get out, the kids just have each other, they never go anywhere. But remember, I don't video them going to birthday parties or rehearsals or their church activities or play dates or the kids that we babysit or the nature camps that I do. I really don't focus on that on this channel, and I don't want to put other people in here that are uncomfortable having their kids on YouTube. So I don't show that, but we have a lot of social activities, way more than we want, actually. We're all homebodies, and we would just love to stay home and work on our own activities and skills, like the piano and the forts we have going on in the woods, whatever. It's just kind of funny, because yesterday we were at the nursing home and leaving, and we're talking about what we needed to do this weekend. We have somebody coming over today, and then we have people coming over tomorrow. And the kids are like, we don't have time for that. We need to do this and this. We wanted to finish this project in the woods. And Caitlin was saying that she needed to finish this play that she's writing and practice the piano and the things that we're all wanting to do and stuff. We're like, wow, I feel like people tell us to socialize all this, and we love it. It's fun, but we have so much other stuff to do that it was just hard to fit it in, because I was we are perfectly content not having a lot of social activities. But anyway, I think I'm not sure if these people know me or not. So I feel like if they know me and they think my kids have bad social skills or need more socialization, it'd just be great to say, hey, how about have your kids over? You think they're stuck on the farm too much, then that would be great. And if you don't know my kids personally, then you don't know them, because I feel like they are great at social skills. I mean, they there's always room for improvement. They can always be a little bit more polite, but I think that they are fairly polite. They know how to open doors for people. Yesterday at the nursing home, I noticed, Andy ran ahead and opened the door for somebody in a wheelchair. I thought, what a nice gentleman, to be able to do that. They know how to talk to all of the people in the nursing home. I was really impressed that they feel comfortable going up and talking to them, and sharing their names and sharing, asking how they're feeling and things like that. They are great with all their friends. They've never ever been bullied. They've never been made fun of. They stand up for other people who are, like in rehearsals. They'll tell me what they did to make other people feel welcome. And last week at church, there was a new girl, and Tilly went out in the hall because the new girl came in and left. And she's like, I need to go find that new girl and see why she doesn't want to come sit here. And she invited her in and held her hand and brought her to sit by her. I was like, that's so great. She was the only one that did that. So I feel like, that my kids have pretty good social skills. They can get a lot better, but I think they're good at talking to friends of all ages. When we do have people over, they're all ages, and it's great to see them playing with older people and younger people, and they include everybody. I have shown a few videos of people coming over, and I love that it's just like they're including everybody, and nobody's just sitting on their phones or just pairing off. They play group games together. It's really fun. We sometimes have really difficult kids here for nature camps or that we babysit, and they know how to get along with them and to be peacemakers, to give and take with them and letting them have their way sometime, but not walk all over them. So I feel like they're doing pretty good, but there's always room for improvement. Another one is, why do your kids always have dolls? They are too old to be carrying dolls around. I think this was for our trip, and I think that's just something the older kids started years ago, and especially on field trips and road trips. They brought a doll along, and it's kind of like Flat Stanley, where they just want to put it in every picture and have it go to every place and get out of the car at every stop. So the kids don't like take them to church or rehearsals, or they're not really attached to them. It was just like this one thing. And I heard about someone doing that with their cat recently, that they took their cat to every stop and had it in all the pictures. And that was an adult, so like, I know that is still a thing. It's kind of silly. And there was a point at Niagara Falls where I was like, can we just have a picture with the family and not with the dolls? But I tried not to get annoyed, because I was looking around at other people and families where the teens are on their phones and not even looking at the falls. And at least my kids were totally involved with each other and involved in the moment, as a family, the nature of things that we were seeing, the wonderful time we were having, the enjoyable weather, everything. I'd much rather them carry around dolls and be hanging out with each other and happy. That's what I really care about, is that they're happy. They're not attacking back. They're not grouchy to me. They're not throwing fits. They were just very content. So if dolls make them happy, then I am totally happy with that. There's a lot worse things that they could be doing. Learning to skin a deer is not life skills. Okay, this one made me laugh a lot because I thought that skinning a deer was like the best life skill. If it's not, then I don't know what is. But that's been around since Adam and Eve, so I feel like it's a fantastic life skill. But obviously, we're in different parts of the country, have different lives, and that's fine. I felt like it was important because living here, there could be a 3-day blizzard, or we can get like 2 feet of snow, and we'll get snowed in. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but we could get like one of those storm of the centuries, and it could happen. And we might want to be able to shoot and process our own deer if we needed to. I would really want to know how if it came to that. I mean, it probably won't, but you never know with times these days that it could happen. You look at some of the natural disasters like Hurricane Helene and how there are areas that were cut off from stores and everything for a really long time. So if that happened, it might be a skill to have. And I would love to learn more. This is kind of what I moved here for, was to learn how to do pigs and the chickens and the deer and cattle and things. My brother out in Wyoming knows so much, and I'm so jealous, and I'm also embarrassed that I don't know that much, that I've lived here this long and I'm still not confident of our skills of self-sustaining and doing those things like that. And there also could be some sort of government shutdown where they just say no more meat. They might, like, the prices of meat could be like quadruple or something for like 6 months or 3 years. And I won't want to pay those prices. And so it'd be really great to know how to raise my own meat and butcher it and take care of it ourselves if we ever needed to. So I think it's a great skill, especially when we live here. And then the last one is, I live off of other people. So I also kind of wanted to laugh at this because I thought that we all live off of other people, right? I mean, that's our economy. That's how it works. So if I were a librarian, then I'm living off of people paying their taxes. If I worked at a restaurant, I'm living off of people coming to eat there. or at a grocery store or whatever my job is, a doctor, a lawyer, anything, I am reliant on other people needing my services. So I feel like we are all living off of one another to some sort of degree. To me, living off other people is like living in their house and eating all their food and having them pay all the bills and you not contributing at all. So if I lived with somebody else, then I would definitely pull my weight. Even if I were sick or injured, I would do what I can to help cook, clean, at least order the groceries online, take care of the kids or other household things, anything I could do, even if I were like in a wheelchair or something. I would try to contribute just by being cheerful, by praising the people, encouraging them, whatever I could do. So I feel like I'm not living off of anybody in that way where I'm just taking total advantage of anybody. If you're thinking that I'm living off of like my fans or something like that, then that kind of bothered me at first, that maybe fans are like supporting me too much. But someone said, you are putting out valuable free content for them, unless they're like a YouTube subscriber that costs money or something. I don't know about that. But otherwise, it's free for people to watch. And so they are appreciative of the content that I'm sharing, especially if I can share tips and tricks that might make their life easier or change their life. So for them to want to contribute a little bit, then that is perfectly fine. That is the way they pay for it. It's just like Disney Channel is making money, or Disney Plus, or whatever it's called. They are reliant on people subscribing and paying the monthly fee for it. So because people want that content, they are appreciative of whatever Disney puts out, or any of the Netflix or streaming things like that. So since it's free, my friend said, don't feel bad about people wanting to support you, because it's not like they're paying all your bills. It's just if they want to just send you things that are helpful, like toilet paper or paper towels, or pay for a little bit, it's to show appreciation for the value I'm giving back. Just like that's how our economy works, that I work at a restaurant, you pay me for the food that I'm making for you. Those kinds of things. If you think I'm living off my family, then again, I'm not, because I'm not living with them. But if you think family gives me too much money, I also talked to my friend about this, and she was like, well, I live by my parents on one side and my in-laws on the other side. And she said, I think both of them probably spend $300 to $500 a month on my family. If you really counted it up, there are the daycare costs, which she said she stays home with her kids that she doesn't need, but she knows that people who do rely on their parents for daycare, that saves them like $500 a month. But if you didn't count that, then she said, I think we eat out about once a week with my family, and they probably spend $100 or $150 on us eating out. They have us over for Sunday dinners, and that probably costs $100 to make, a roast and potatoes and everything, feed the whole family. The prices are just like a quick estimate, she said. Then there are the times that my parents are driving kids to different activities. They might support their like fundraisers and things. They might spend money for them that way. They might just stop and get them ice cream or a hamburger somewhere. They buy them random toys, like not at their birthdays or anything. They take them on family vacations, like rent a beach house or those kinds of things. So he said, I think most families, parents who live with next to their kids in close proximity, probably spend $300 to $500 a month on their grandkids by taking care of them and those kinds of things and paying for the food and stuff like that. So she said, don't feel bad at all if once in a while then your parents or in-laws send you some money to help with them, because they are so far away. And a lot of families grow up for years, 20, 30 years living next to their parents, and the parents are helping pay for all these things, taking them to bouncy houses, those kinds of things, ice skating, bowling. They're spending a lot of money on their grandkids by living in close proximity. It might help them pay for a car or a new dishwasher or the down payment on a house. So really, my parents sending some money once in a while to help pay for the mortgage, or actually, I am able to pay my mortgage and all my bills by myself now. But it's the extra things that keep coming up every single month, like the dishwasher breaking, those kinds of things, that it is helpful to once in a while need help from family members. But again, I'm trying not to feel bad about that. I'm still just in the early stages of my business, and I know it won't be like this forever. And I'm working super hard. And I loved all the odd jobs that I've been getting, and I love my business doing well. So I feel like things are looking pretty good. Oops, there's one more question on the back. Actually, these are a lot of comments. I really upset a lot of people when I said that I left some of my kids in the hotel room. So for those who care, I will explain that the oldest was almost 12, and they were in a hotel room, locked with the door shut, and then down the stairs, that door also locked. That was just the one door. It was a hotel room. It's kind of like a San Francisco building. It even had like the bay windows and everything. Very small, and had a security guard. So we just thought, I had the idea and I felt like it was a good one, which is why I put it in the miracles, because it's not something I would normally do. And miracles are usually off the wall things that you don't think might be a good idea. So I thought I would go outside with the older kids and let them see what the city is like at nighttime. And it would give the younger kids a chance to fall asleep without us there, because when we're in the hotel with them, which I did the rest of the trip, then they end up staying up late and we can't read and everything. Anyway, I just felt like this was a good idea, that we needed to do this tonight. And I was so glad I listened to it, because I felt like it was a big miracle. But anyway, so we went outside and we're just going to stand right outside the door. So if we saw anybody go past the guard and, into there, we could go in also. Like, we were going to watch the hotel room. And then we did see the guy in a wheelchair, and we did help him down a few blocks, which, I didn't feel that comfortable with. But you weren't there. Like, you didn't see this guy, if he was homeless or not. But his face just lit up, because people also said, I shouldn't have been talking to him. I shouldn't have helped him. He could have been a bad guy. He could have been leading me to a nasty place or whatever. But I go by my feelings, and his face lit up when I told him that he's a child of God, that God wants a better life for him, and I encouraged him to seek that better life. And he just kept saying, nobody's ever said that to me before. And he just kept saying, thank you so much. So I know that I was supposed to be a light for him that day, that we gave him some food, we cheered him up, we sent him on his way. And we came back feeling so good. So everything was fine. And people were saying, well, can your 12-year-old defend himself against a gunman? I was like, no, of course not. I mean, I can't defend myself against a gunman. We didn't bring a gun on this trip. But I don't think that was going to happen with having to have a key to get in the outside door, get past the guard, and have a key into our room. Like, what are the chances of somebody going in there with a gun? I mean, if that was going to happen, it was just going to happen. It was just going to be a random thing that happened, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. So I wasn't going to live the vacation in fear of a gunman coming into my hotel room every night, because that was just not a fun vacation. I mean, I'll get the thoughts every once in a while, like, ooh, I hope we don't get kidnapped. I hope this doesn't happen. What if there's a bad guy here? But I have to kind of push them away and just focus on, do I feel peace right now? And if I need to move, Heavenly Father will tell me, run, hide, whatever. He'll protect us. And in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. And I did. We had a wonderful, wonderful trip. And that's why I was counting that as a tender mercy, because that's not something I would do. And I felt like it was a great experience for me with the girls, to let them see what nightlife was like. The only time that we ever stayed in the city, because I really love the country, the country hotels out of town. It was a time that I got to just take care of, hang out with them for a few minutes. I showed them how to help a guy. And then when we got back to the hotel room, the kids were asleep. And so we were able to go in and turn the lights on and read and chat some more. So it was just a blessing that the kids fell asleep within 10 minutes. And I know, like, the whole night would have gone good if we had stayed in the hotel room. And then tomorrow, Madeline was coming and surprising them. And I really wanted them to be well rested and enjoy that day. And then the rest of the nights, we stayed up late with her. So anyway, that's why I did that. But I really want people to see, when I share miracles, how that they are a miracle, and not see everything that I was doing wrong. Like, a while back, I ran a red light. This was back when we lived in Utah. And it scared me so bad, because I didn't even know the light was there. It was in a place I hadn't ever driven to before. And I came over a hill and I just ran through a red light. And I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I could have been killed. I could have caused an accident. I could have killed somebody else. I was upset with myself for several days. And I realized God protected me. He protected everybody else. Look at the miracle of it. It's okay. So I'm afraid if I share things like that, you guys will say, wow, you turned, red or red light. You should have got a ticket for that. And the point isn't to look for all the bad things I'm doing, because we're all sinning some way. We're all making mistakes, but it was such a protection for me. It was a gift from God that He protected me, and that nothing did happen. And I made sure to thank Him for it. Thank you for protecting me, because that was really stupid of me to not be going slower and to be more cautious, that there could be stoplights around here that I don't know about. So I kind of learned my lesson with that. And I haven't read a red light since that I know of, not like that, where I just had no idea that it was there. It also reminds me of so many Bible stories, like David. He's like the youngest of 8 sons, and he kills a giant with a rock. And afterward, like in our Bible classes now, we don't say, he was so stupid. What was he thinking? I can't believe he did that. Doesn't he know he could have been killed? Like, of course he knows that, but instead we celebrate that it was a gift and a miracle from God, that he was able to slay a giant with just a smooth stone, one rock in the middle of his forehead. And it's a miracle. It was a help. And same with Esther, like going before the king for her people. Like, she knew she could have died going to him, but that's why it's a miracle, because she didn't die and God protected her. So I want to continue to share my weekly miracles because they really help me focus on the positive things that are happening and the Lord's hand in my life instead of seeing so many things that are going wrong and things that I'm upset about and disappointed about. But I know that I'm going to share a lot of stupid things that I do. But that's why they're a miracle, because they should have ended disastrously and they don't. That's why it's a miracle. So I'm excited to keep doing that. Thanks for supporting them. Thanks for watching this. Please keep sending your questions. I love to answer them, and any other video ideas that you are looking for. I'm excited for a lot of video ideas that I wrote up while camping with Tilly, and I can't wait to do those, but I also love to know your ideas too. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe or share this video. Thanks. Bye-bye.